Welcome to Breaking Stereotypes. Reading today about Patrick Henry. While he was dying, he spoke to his doctor. He said, "Doctor, I wish you to observe how real and beneficial the religion of Christ is to man about to die. I am, however, much consoled by reflecting that the religion of Christ has, from its first appearance in the world, been attacked in vain by all the wits, philosophers, and wise ones, aided by every power of man, and its triumphs have been complete." The triumphs he's talking about is the triumphs of the gospel. The gospel has withstood every single attack ever since Christ came to this earth. And, we think about living in America. What a great land we live in. Blessed, because its pillars were founded on Christ. And as we are entering a new era, with a new president, we really need to continue to pray. Lift up our president. Pray that he receive godly wisdom. That's the thing to do. Now, I want to continue on and tell you a little bit about how this first line he says, "Doctor, I wish you to observe how real and beneficial the religion of Christ is to a man about to die." Have to admit, I learned this a few years back when I was in Washington, D.C. I'm sitting in the little room chamber right behind the main session where all the congressmen and all that sit in the Senate, I believe. And I'm sitting on a little bench in this back room. And David Barton is explaining some of the stuff that's going on. And then he tells us the story about John Quincy Adams and how he had gotten ill during the session, and they brought him to this back room. In fact, they laid him, he said, on the bench you're sitting at, and he points to me. The bench you're sitting at, he laid right there on that bench, and he died. And David Barton then made a comment about back in the day, they always would record how the dying person died. Did he die peacefully? Was he in unrest? Was he in terror? And that was an important thing back then, to report that, nope, they died in peace. In other words, his conscience was clear, and that's exactly what Patrick Henry is referring to here. He was telling the doctor, "I wish you to observe how real and beneficial the religion of Christ is to a man about to die." Because he had this sense of peace and just ready to go to meet his Maker. Now, another interesting thing, and that is that Patrick Henry's grandson, William Hurt Henry, described Patrick Henry as one who, quote, "looked to the restraining and elevating principles of Christianity as the hope of this country's institutions." And it was Christianity that made the foundation of this country's institutions marvelous and great. Only the future knows. Are we willing to defend that and build the institutions on Christian faith more and more? Tell you what, you and I as believers, we've got to just pray. We've got to live out our real Christianity, and we need to be active. We need to be vocal in love. One more quote, and that is from another grandson of Patrick Henry's. And he said about Patrick Henry, he said he had committed himself to the, quote, "earnest efforts to establish true Christianity in our country." I think it kind of interesting that he uses the adjective true, that we establish true Christianity. Because as we all know, there's Christianity as a political force, there's Christianity as a religious force, then there's Christianity that's a transforming force, that transforms us into a greater image of Jesus Christ, who knows how to love God and love people. Have a great day.